Hey guys, from Luang Prabang in Laos, ancient capital of Laos, but today it's not the capital. So we're gonna have a look around this really beautiful place, one of the nicest places you'll ever see in the world, and definitely in Southeast Asia. So let's go, let's check it. Okay, let's say goodbye to the Royal Palace where we just started and take a walk down the main street of the old town of Luang Prabang, filled with amazing old French colonial architecture. It's an absolute gem. One of the finest collections of old French colonial architecture anywhere in the world, no doubt about it. And it's doing really well. I haven't been here for quite a long time, maybe about 8 years, I would say, something like that. I've been here a couple times, and this will be my third trip actually, and I'm very impressed with the way it's developing, the way it's coming along. It's really looking good. You always have a bit of a worry about places like this, that the locals are gonna not take care of things, they're gonna not know how to handle it, and maybe they end up breaking down a lot of the beautiful old buildings and replacing them with Starbucks and McDonald's and so on. But so far here in Luang Prabang, I can see development is proceeding very tastefully, and it's being done in the right way. So, hello. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of these old buildings have been turned into very nice restaurants and cafes and so on. Massage place there. So when I was here last time, there was pretty much one really good cafe in town. That was the Scandinavian Bakery, which also had a branch in Vientiane, the current day capital of Laos. Well, if you've seen my Vientiane videos that I put out a few months back, you might remember I commented about the Scandinavian Bakery there is no more, which was very sad. But I'm not sure if the one that was here is still open or not. I'm not sure about this, but I think someone told me the original one was here. So I have a bit of hope still. We'll soon find out. It was up here on the right a bit further. We'll see. These massage places, seems to be a new thing. I'm sure I don't remember seeing massage places around here before. There might have been one or two tucked away here or there, but there's a fair few now. They look fairly tasteful. Don't know if there's any dodginess going on with them or not. Who knows? You don't really know unless you ask questions about that kind of thing when you go to those places, but it's not really my scene. But okay, I did not see the Scandinavian Bakery back there, so it must be gone. I think we definitely passed where it used to be. But I did see that there were a lot more cafes, and that's really nice. And I did have a peek inside a few before we started out here. I did a bit of scouting around, of course, and did notice that there were some nice cakes and pastries and so on, as well as nice drinks, which is great because it never seems to be a problem to find something nice to drink in this region, but it can be a challenge to find some nice cakes and pastries and so on. This one, Joma, I've heard of this one. I'm sure they have this one in Vientiane as well, and it's a very nice one. So I'll be back there in a little bit, I'm quite sure. Yeah, lots of nice little souvenir type shops, very tasteful. not like all the other stuff you see around the region that's mass-produced mostly and a bit tacky. Of course, you do get other odds and ends that are nice things in the region, but it's a communist flag there, not for sale, I would assume. But you never know. Offer the right price and see how capitalism works out for you. So, yeah, it's great. It's looking really good. Tons of new cafes. The old architecture has been protected and plenty of buildings have been renovated tastefully and put to good use. And that's about the best you can expect of places like this. So when I first came here, now that's 13 years ago, like a lot of the places in my recent videos around this region, when I did my big around Southeast Asia tour, my first one like that at least, this place anyway, this was a lot quieter. Like I said, there was just the one good cafe, and yeah, there were some nice little souvenir shops around here, some cheap guest houses. So it's gotten a lot better. There's an airport here, and in the past the flights were really prohibitively expensive coming in here because you had to use the domestic airlines, the national flag carrier I should say, one of the national airlines, and they charge foreigners an arm and a leg to fly in here. It's a bit ridiculous really. Well, they still do actually, but in the last years they've been allowing a few budget airlines to fly in here. So it's a bit of a game changer. So now you get your weekenders, long weekender types coming in. People who want it easy. They don't want to have to make a big hike, a big slog to come up here. Plus, of course, the Chinese Lao project with the fast train, the fast Chinese style train, which comes up here as well, comes to Luang Prabang. So that makes it possible to whiz around the area very easily, around this part of the country at least, to see a few different things, a few bits and pieces. So what I've noticed on this trip, it's not just your backpacker types like it used to be. Now you've got all types of people. But it's not been ruined yet. Now, okay, if we come back in another 5 years or 10 years, how are they going to handle it? It's a small place. Once the word gets around, and don't blame me, once the word gets around that it's actually not a really, really hard slog to get up here anymore, of course, you're going to get more and more people coming up here, people who don't like it to be too difficult, or they just cannot do it if it's too difficult, right? Going to get a lot more people coming up here. And then we'll see how things work out. But it looks like so far, people that run the show, the people that are currently in control at least, they're pretty sensible about it. But of course, things change. People who are in control of things change, and then, yeah, policies change. But okay, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's amazing, gorgeous place. So we're heading a bit further down into the old town here. So the actual old town The main part of it is on a peninsula formed by the meeting of two rivers, the Mekong River and a smaller one, which the name, I don't know, the name slips my mind right now. Something Khan is down that way, by the way. And they join up just at the end of the road here. So this is like a kind of like a finger of land here, peninsula. And this is pretty much the main part of the old town, the old French part of the town. But as you come right out to the end of this peninsula, it gets quieter. Don't ask me why, right? I mean, you could have imagined the end of the peninsula, the tip would be the most busy section. But okay, this is the way it is. It's not the busiest part. But it's nice down here. You've got some of the more expensive places to stay down here as well. Of course, because it's a bit quieter. And it's walking distance to where most of the shops and cafes are. But it's absolutely lovely and it's fairly peaceful down here. Good spot for a stroll. Okay, so only another block down there and we come to the end of the line, but we'll see if we can cut through a temple up here, if it's still possible. It used to be possible. Let's find out. That's how I used to walk. I used to like to walk around. So there's a little temple over here, but from what I remember, there's another temple just on the left here. And we should be able to cut through there. So you can see down to the end of the block there. Right at the end it's green, there are no buildings. That's where the small river curves around at the end of the peninsula and joins the Mekong. But we want to, hopefully, take a left here through this temple. And yes, it's still possible, so that's good for this video. Otherwise, would have had to cut it there and do something else. But okay, we'll keep going. Glad to see it's still possible. All right, let's head on through. One moment, I'll come back, okay? I'll come back, 1 moment. One second, I come back. Okay. So they want tickets now, eh? It's a bit annoying, isn't it? I notice in Laos now they want tickets for every little thing. So does that mean they've closed the way out on the other side here now? I bet it does. But I'm gonna find out. At least they relaxed when I said I'll come back and pay for the ticket in a bit. It's nice. So the beautiful sun at the moment looks so beautiful because of the smog. Alright, this dog knows what to do, doesn't he? So I said I'll come back. I'll have to come back sometime, maybe in another 8 years, but for now I'm gonna head down here. I'm promoting this country. I don't have to pay every time. I've been here enough times already, guys. Come on. Give me a little freebie there. Alright, this is the mighty Mekong River, which is shown in a lot of my videos. That's the other little river, just curves in there behind those cars and trees. Hello, how are you? The mating song of the Southeast Asian man. Tuk-tuk, tuk-tuk. not mating song, but it's like a song for them, you know. It's like in a lot of Southeast Asia, you hear this tuk-tuk, tuk-tuk, tuk-tuk. It's like, oh, never ending. Speaking, I think this is a good time actually for a little story. Speaking of tuk-tuks, so coming into Luang Prabang today, I came from the north, and yeah, basically came in towards, it's called the new northern bus station, which has been placed 8 kilometers away from the old town. Can you believe that? Right out in the middle of nowhere. Utterly ridiculous. And I've mentioned a few similar situations in the past in other videos, but you know, it's obviously been set up, well, okay, I don't want to accuse people, but let's say it could have been put, it was already in another location 4 kilometers from the old town, which is walkable for a lot of people, right? For backpackers on a shoestring, right? So why did they move it 8 kilometers out? There's no good reason I can think of, but that's what they did, right? So what happens? It's like they've got a tuk-tuk mafia set up there where they're trying to charge people about $6 to take a 16-minute tuk-tuk ride to the old town. Utter rip-off. A local girl told me locals pay $20,000 for a tuk-tuk, which is about, yeah, 20,000 kip. I think that's only about, not more than $1, and I think that's if they're alone. Well, these guys are trying to shove 10 foreigners in a tuk-tuk and get about $6 from each one of them. So they're making out like bandits. Total scam, you know? Really, I don't want to like speak too harshly, you know? I love this place and I love this country. I love Laos, but come on, who's paying money to who to let that happen, right? So if you look on Google Maps, you'll see the new northern bus station in Luang Prabang. And if you're coming from the north, that's probably where they're going to try to drop you off. And when you're tired, hungry, your body hurts, you know, you've been traveling the hard road. And yeah, people come out here, they put a lot of love out for this country, spend a lot of money, don't deserve to be treated like that. It's bloody disgusting, you know? That's what it is. It's a disgrace, and the people who allow that to happen are insulting their own country, really. Because obviously some foreigners are gonna leave very disappointed with a bad taste, you know? And they're gonna tell other people. It just really makes problems for this country, which, you know, you look around here, look at all the good work people have been doing, right? And then you got these scammers undermining it like that. And not to get into politics, but come on, well, the kind of government they have here, let's say it straight up, you know, it calls itself a communist party, right? Well, one of the features of that type of government is supposed to be you can cut through all the red tape and get things done, right? And stop stuff like that from happening, right? Not like foster this kind of caveman mentality stuff. So I don't know if anyone from Laos happens to listen to this. You know, you guys got to try to talk to the people who can do something about it and get them to crack down hard, man, you know? Because straight up, you know, as much as I hate the gulag system that they've had in a lot of communist countries, when you get these kind of scammers like that are dumping people on the side of the road, quite often in the middle of the night, tired and hungry, and just leaving them there if they won't let them scam them, you know, I think they deserve very harsh punishment, to be honest. Yeah, and I don't say that lightly either. Anyway, somehow everything dovetails and it all goes together. On this channel we don't shy away from telling the truth. That guy just crashed his motorbike into another one. He's a tourist. He was looking at the pretty buildings. He looked all happy and then suddenly bump. No damage done though. No one was hurt. And anyway, the good thing about the scammy type stuff that happens more or less in certain places in the world, the good thing about that kind of stuff, it's an education. It should be. If you get scammed, try to think about it like you paid a price for a certain type of education and learn from it. Don't be a sucker. Come on, guys. Don't be gullible. Don't be naive suckers, you know? If you're naive, okay, you gotta get more experience, but don't try to foster it and stay in some kind of bubble or cocoon like I see a lot of people doing, you know? They don't want to break out from their little rose-colored spectacle fantasy thing. Yeah, wake up. Don't be an enabler, right? So many people, they say, oh, but they're probably poor guys. They need the money. It's like, no, they're not. I've seen where some of these guys live in Thailand. They have nice looking houses, better than you'll probably ever afford, if you let yourself keep getting scammed all the time, at least. But yeah, if people watch their behind, you know, then it makes it really hard, if not impossible, for this kind of stuff to happen. All right, let's be realistic. We know it's going to keep happening, right? But I tell you guys because obviously you guys have excellent taste or you wouldn't be here, right? You can handle the real deal. That's why you're checking out my channel. So that's what we give you. All right, we give it with all positivity, with hope that it'll help some people like you guys, of course. Keep everybody having a good time. All right, so yeah, we want to encourage good things, positive things in these countries that we visit. We definitely don't want to make any excuses for criminal activities, mafioso, mini mafia wannabe type thuggish behavior and all this kind of silly carry on. Definitely got no tolerance for that kind of stuff. Let's hang a left here. So if we kept going along the Mekong River here, you'd actually see, well, wait a minute, I haven't given you a really good shot of the Mekong, have I? Let's get a quick look over here. Quite a few boats about. All right, let's turn back into the old town. Okay, so rant over. And turning back into the main part of the old town here. Bit of a quieter street running here in between the main road where most of the businesses are, which is back up here where we came from this way across earlier, and back on the river road there, which is really quite busy these days. The river road back there, when I first came here, was pretty sleepy. It had a few places to eat and get a drink and so on, but I was amazed at how quiet it was. had so much potential. Well, they've really unlocked it now. Yep, they've definitely opened it all up. A French flag there, interesting. Ah, Institute of France. Ah, the French trying to scrape their way back in here, eh? Good luck, guys, you need it. This place is pretty overgrown. I would like to buy this place and do it up and put a institute that's not France there. Anti-France. Nah, just kidding. We love France. Come on, just joking, guys. We love you guys. Really. But just not so much into the neo-colonialism. Yeah. But we love France, yeah. We don't blame people for what governments do. Come on, guys, come on. All right. Okay. Back up on this lovely crossroads here. All right, we came through this crossroads just a little bit earlier. That's the main drag there. Scandinavian Bakery used to be up there on the left. I didn't see it. Did I overlook it? Somehow I have to keep a tiny bit of hope. All right, we're gonna... Oh, another massage one there. And another one. They look like legit massage places, like normal ones. Not like happy slappy ones. But who knows? You never know. I can't say I'm an expert on that kind of thing. Another really cool temple up here. Look at that. And they're very old looking as well. That's something I really like about Laos. The temples really look old. In Thailand, you do see some that look old, but they've been renovated so much, you don't know like how much of the original structure is there still. This is the smaller river, which we said goes along there and curves to the left, curves around to the left there to make a finger of land there, a little peninsula. Well, they're doing some development at the moment on the other side. There was I think it was a bamboo bridge crossing here. That's gone at the moment. And they're doing this development on the other side. And I'm sure they're going to make it very nice. All right, guys, we're coming up on a part of the old town that's tucked behind the Temple Hill back there, which I pointed the camera up to the top of the hill a little earlier on, and that's like the main temple of Luang Prabang. It's basically right behind the royal palace. The palace is between that hill and the river, obviously very strategically placed back in the days, in the old times, when the old kings and queens of Laos planned these things quite carefully. Another little temple tucked in there, tucked away. So up on the top there you can see the old temple, and that hill is called, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's either, well, I think it's spelled with a PH, so it could be an F sound. It's either Fusi or Pussy. So which one sounds better to you? I know which one sounds better to me. I found my thrill on Pussy Hill. Well, yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I'm not joking. It sounds funny, but I just don't know. Really, that's what I thought people called that place. That's how I thought it was pronounced. If it's not, so yeah, so okay, sorry, but in all innocence, I'm just telling you what I thought. So anyway, Anyway, that's a spiritual place up there, not a place for anyone to misbehave. That's for sure. And if there's one thing here on Seeker of the Way that we try to make sure of, is that no one misbehaves. That's right, because we are professionals at Seeker of the Way. All the stunts you see performed here, like going in places without tickets, and oh, did I tell you the full story about the the bus? Yeah, the bus guy wanted to drop everyone off at the bus station here, the New Northern bus station, that we all had to get scammed by the Tuk-tuk mafia. But luckily I checked it on Google Maps, and because I suspected as much, right? And I told the guy to stop on the main highway about 750 meters before that station. I forgot which highway it is, maybe 13, I'm not sure, but he didn't want to stop. He's like, no. Well, I had to get a little bit aggro with him, you know? Sometimes gotta lay down the law. All right, not the law. I'm not the law. But sometimes you gotta get a bit aggro, right? It's nice down there for a few blocks, by the way. Anyway, and the old French bridges down there. Anyway, I had to get a bit aggro with him, and yeah, he backed down and he stopped, and I got out. Took 2 minutes to hitchhike a ride, the 8 kilometers, within like a couple minutes of walking to where I found a really nice room. And that was very nice, and some lovely grilled chicken and sticky rice from the street. And then I had time to do a bit of scouting for you guys, and here we are now. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Sabadi. All right. One of my favorite temples in Luang Prabang, by the way. I think a lot of people don't make it over to this little corner tucked away behind Pussy Hill. For you were my thrill. Something like that anyway. But haven't actually been to the top of that hill, can you believe it? But I'm going to go up there and have a look. Don't know why I haven't been up there before, but alright guys, we made it to the top of Pussy Hill in Luang Prabang. That's it for this episode of Seeker of the Way. Subscribe and like if you haven't already done it. Hit the bell button. Hit the Buy Me a Coffee link if you want to support the channel. And see you in the next one. And don't be late. And the absolutely fantastic night market of Luang Prabang is opening up now in front of the Grand Palace. Lots of excellent items in there. Nice stuff, actually, not the corny stuff you normally see in a lot of markets in the region.